guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back, guys. Happy Friday. You see what's behind me today? This is what we wish would happen to Jen Soto, right? Now, I know some people are going to come on here. They're going to pop on 30 minutes in and say, what did I miss? Did we arrest Jen Soto? No, but we wish we did. Let me fix my background just a little bit. My hair is kind of fading into the background. So let me make sure my hair's not going to go into that light. How you guys doing today? Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. I didn't even know you were here today, Synth. I thought you were off baking cookies. What's up? Thanks, mods, for being here. Welcome, everybody. I see somebody popped in chat and said I haven't been here in a while. So shout out to Sarah. Hi, everyone. It's been a long time since you made a live. Welcome. All right, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership today if you can. We're doing another Soto giveaway, hashtag arrest Jen Soto. And then if you purchase merch with that giveaway, then we'll give you free shipping along with some potato Soto merch. So we put something together like that. You got a little like pill bag. Has a zipper, says sleep like Jen Soto with some little pills on it. And you got some, I took my meds, little mirror, some keychain, arrest Jen Soto, little potato pins, whatever. We're going to do a giveaway today, but you got to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And then you have to have a membership. You have to be green. You could be the lowest tier, $2.99. That's how it's going to go down today after we do our call-ins, after we talk about Jen Soto knows exactly who cleaned up the messy crime scene. Yeah, what's up, y'all? What's up, Chumba? Good to see you. Hello, Truth Finder. Good to see you. Mama Sage, how you doing? Sassy Theory, how you doing? All right, so we're going to get back to that later. I just wanted to show those that did, or the person that won yesterday, I can't remember, but somebody won. I think it was, I don't know. I don't remember who the winner was yesterday. My bad. What's up, Criddles? Good to see you, my friend. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto, right? Gene, how you doing? Yeah, hopefully we can give away some memberships while we're doing the show, but I wouldn't count on getting a gifted membership because we just don't know who's going to get what. All right, but today we're going to talk about Jen Soto. Hopefully this is the last in the series for a while, unless Jen was to get arrested. I mean, there's so many other cases I want to cover. I did want to cover Jaden Spicer, but you know, it just rolled real quickly. And now I'm watching little Jaden Spicer was found buried in his mom's yard. I believe it was in the yard somewhere out in a box. And she had to break his legs in order to get him in the box or the suitcase, whatever it was. I haven't started that case, but she literally claimed that he was missing and then later confessed to taking his life, saying that he was overdosed and she buried him. It's brutal, guys. She had court yesterday. She's a nasty, nasty beast, just like Jen Soto. The only difference is she's now pleading not guilty after she confessed because, well, it's a strategy, right? People commit crimes, they tell on themselves, give up all the evidence, and then they still say not guilty. Does that sound familiar? Stephan's, all of his evidence was given to them, and the only motion that would have saved him or the Google drive photos or any of the drive photos not being put into court. All right. So, I mean, justice for Jaden Spicer, and I can still pick the case up next week, but there's a lot of cases that we need to get to. And I feel like it's unsettled here. I feel like we have things to talk about. And I think you guys do too. Every day that I've been covering Jen Soto and the Madeline Soto case, I've been getting some pretty lengthy emails from people that I've never heard from that are saying they're trying to process it or they need to get something out. So let's get it out today, because honestly, after that, we're going to have to get into new stuff. And, I just can't answer 50 emails with your deepest, darkest feelings and thoughts as much as I love you guys. So let's try to get it out here, because, I just can't answer that many emails. And, well, I'm not a therapist. So today we'll do call-in therapy. You guys can do your own therapy, and you can talk it out as much as possible. And then we can move on. All right. Melissa Firestone, good to see you. I'm so glad that you caught a live. There's so many people in here today that don't have green. And there's some green folks, but there's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Parrot, Bernice, Rosie, I know you haven't got one yet. I never understand hurting your children. Well, you're going to understand other momsters hurting their children coming up in the next week or so, because it just keeps happening over and over, guys. It's just awful. Yeah, we're going to do call-in therapy. That way, me, Jay, from Guilty of Crime, doesn't have to be a personal therapist inside my emails. I love you guys, and I'll never tell who emailed me, and I'll never tell who, and I'll never tell what. But I got to tell you, there's some heavy, heavy emails going on and real thoughts and feelings that are going on in this case. And, we cover hundreds of cases, so I can't carry those feelings. We have to do an episode, drop those, and move on to the next to get justice. All right. So thank you. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. One love. I Parrot. Thank you so much for becoming a member. All right, guys, let's get into today's episode so we can do call-ins, we can do giveaways, and we can get some call therapy. And again, remember, be kind to each other. If you're not going to be kind to each other, don't talk to each other. Just direct your questions and comments at me. All right. Nobody in chat needs to answer your questions. All right. Just remember that. And the mods are in full effect tonight. What's up, Buster? How you doing? Full effect, best mods, Guilty of Crime. All right. I'll own that title for them. All right. We're going to get right into it today. Jennifer Soto. Who, me? Jennifer knows exactly who cleaned up that messy crime scene, according to Veriscope, and in my opinion. And when we look at this, it's pretty. I really like how he laid this out. Hold on, real quick. Let me remove this. I don't even know what happened there. There we go. All right, and thank you. That's another member, Melissa. Thank you for being a member. And then One Love just gifted a membership. So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, One Love. Tell your mom I said hi, please. And thank you. All right. So let me show you this. Let me get back to this real quick. So today, Jen Soto says, who, me? Jen Soto knows exactly who cleaned it up. Victim's phone was left behind. Perpetrator's phone accidentally destroyed. And Jennifer Soto thinks that we won't notice the pattern. Well, we might not, but you start getting in some AI mixed with you mix AI with analysis, linguistics analysis, and you're pretty much screwed. So anybody that has anything to say, let's throw some linguistics AI at them and see what happens, right? So targeting Madeline's phone, stayed home. Stephan's phone got factory reset, and the only person whose phone worked that day was Jennifer Soto. The only person that could have coordinated everything. You see what I'm saying here, guys? I mean, really, though. I mean, that's what we're talking about today. And listen to me again when I say this. Listen one more time. The victim, which is Maddie's phone, got left behind. The perpetrator, which is Stephan's phone, was accidentally destroyed. And Jennifer Soto thinks that we won't see the pattern. Then Maddie's phone was home. She forgot it. Stephan's phone got accidentally reset. The only person who had a phone that day of the biggest crime in national news after Casey Anthony, Jen Soto. Her phone is the only one that worked today. So I ask you again, who's the only person that could have coordinated this that had a phone? Do I have any answers in chat? Anyways, what's up, Malibu Surf? How you doing? I just hope that you guys see what the hell I'm talking about. And of course, we're going to move on, but you guys know that I've been thinking Jen should have been arrested a long time ago. But when you look at it in this perspective, who could have been coordinating? Who could have been coordinating that effort without a phone? Who's the only person that had a phone? Let's think. Ding, ding, ding. And yeah, Indy, the reason I'm actually covering this case is because so many people don't feel like justice was served. And the reason they don't is because Stephan pled no contest. And I keep trying to tell you, him pleading no contest means something. Everything means something. There's no coincidences in true crime. And this case is not over until Jen Soto gets arrested because of the circumstances of the guilty and the pleading not guilty, essentially, but taking the sentence. Stephan took the sentence. He's never getting out, guys. Never gonna get out of what you see behind me. All right, but yeah, I'm glad you guys answered this question correctly, because the puppet master's the only one that actually had a phone, the only one that could have actually told Stephan where to go dump Maddie near the Gators, the only one that could have done many things and had access and gave access to her daughter. Happy birthday to Jody. Shout out to a fellow Leo. What's up, my friend? Brandon says Jen and Stephan were profiting off of the discussing abuse. I believe we're part of the CSAM ring. Me too. Why do you think I talked about that yesterday? Again, no coincidences in true crime, my friends. All right. So, I mean, listen, that revelation changes the entire case. All right. So you're going to see Act 1, Act 2, impossible pronouns, unconscious confession about strangulation. We talked about this week. And we're going to see how she reveals her coordination in the role of this. And this is what I've been talking about the whole time. All right. A 13-year-old girl forgets her phone, guys, on the day of school after her birthday. I think not. Impossible. It's not impossible, but teenagers are surgically attached to their phones. All right. But Jennifer accepts it without a question. That's because it was her idea. Leave it at home. We'll tell people that you guys forgot your phones. Don't worry. I'm going to tell you exactly where to go. Again, Maddie's phone left at home. No location tracking. Stephan's phone accidentally reset. No evidence. And Jen Soto, the only working phone as a coordinator. All right. So, I mean, I just don't see how you can see this any other way. And there's where premeditation comes in, is leaving the victim's phone and the perpetrator's phone behind. All right. And then consciousness of guilt, we've called leakage, guilty knowledge, conspiracy knowledge. All right. So I don't know how much clearer this can get for law enforcement or for you guys. I've been saying this for the last year and a half. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. And every freaking week, I'm like, we got to watch. We got to see if Jen Soto is going to get arrested. And this year on my birthday, I said, you know what? I just don't know when that's going to happen. So I'm not going to celebrate, but we will talk about it. All right. We will talk about it. The only person that could have coordinated this thing, the only person that had a phone, just remember that. Nobody leaves and not only did they not leave their phone at home as a teenager, but the day after their birthday party, where they took pictures, videos with their friends, maybe showing pictures with their friends or presents. Not going to happen, guys. I'm not buying that, and nobody else did. All right. So what's up? Only me, baby. How you doing? Demanding Stephan's Stearns there that night. It was premeditated, and it was charged that way too. And that's why DP was on the table for that and many other reasons, right? It wasn't a heat of the passion thing. She was the one left in the house after Stephan left the house with Maddie. Lots of time to do some cleanup, even though she said she thought Maddie was hugged and necked. I'm not sure what that means, but I get it. I kind of get it. All right. I never thought Stefan unalive Maddie. I felt like Jay was jealous of Maddie, and now I realize I knew Maddie could never leave the house. So Maddie was a danger. Text on the phone. There you go, Linda. We hear you. We hear you. Time will tell, but we're not going to let that just go by while we forget dear old Potato Head, right? All right. And you say William J is a good for nothing lazy POS, in my opinion. I'm furious with him. All right, guys, let's get into it. I'm glad you're using YouTube words. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I get the deal, yo. I get it. All right. I put it down on the dog leash. What's up, Teresa? Good to see you, my friend. All right, let's get into Potato Head so we can do some call-in therapy. Get all your stuff off your chest, all right? I love you guys so much, but I'm not a therapist, and I cannot answer emails that just require a ton of therapy, okay? I don't have that mental capacity to do that. So I think sometimes it's therapy for you as people to maybe write an email to Jay from Guilty of Crime about how you feel that I'm talking, whatever emotions are high. I just can't take on that responsibility. So we're going to do that tonight. And then I'm out. We cover more cases, guys. Let's go. All right. What's up, Kel? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Happy Friday. All right.
3 of the Jennifer Soto interview by the police officers. In parts 1 and 2, we covered up to this point. So if we play from here, we can get straight into the analysis.
Thank you. That was nice. Thank you.
I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up, I think, until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Now remember, just starting off this from the get-go, I fell asleep again and didn't wake up till 9:30 in the morning. Jen Soto is now creating her alibi, and I believe her blood appointment was also part of that alibi. She perfectly woke up at like at 7:30 when Stefan needed the dog leash, and then she fell back asleep until all the getting Maddie out of the house was over. What a coincidence that was. Lori, best channel out there. Thanks, Jay. Thank you for the $5 super chat or super sticker. Isabel says, I so love your channel. I can't wait till you cover more cases. I'll be watching from New Jersey. All right, call-in therapy, baby. Get your call-in fingers ready because it does take quite a few times to get through. All right. And don't forget, if you guys start yelling at me or you start yelling at somebody in chat, click, you're going to hear the other side of the phone. It's going to be silent. All right, let's get into it. All right, question. Foxy, how do I gift memberships? Foxy, you're on.
Did you ever leave the bedroom in that time frame?
No.
So he came in, you were kind of awoken up based on him interacting with the dog, but you stayed in bed, you didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so
She never left the bedroom.
Morning. So the last time you would have been Sunday evening?
Okay, so we would mark in the left-hand side of the column the times, and she's now confirmed that the last time she saw Maddie alive was in the evening and didn't see her in the morning at all, which for the morning of the birthday is surprising.
Well, before he even talks about that, the only reason that she changed her story, guys, the only reason she changed her story so fast was because they found Maddie's body, was because Stefan had a flat tire, was because Thomas Karras called it in and then followed it up and said, no, mofos, no, you goofy law enforcement, go back and check that spot. I know what I saw, and I saw the blackest eyes out there and the car that you described on TV. Go back and check, and they found Maddie's body. This turned into an international case, and she had to change her story because she couldn't have saw her that morning when they knew she was already gone that night. Wow, thank you, Carla Lewis, for the $5 super sticker. You guys are on fire today. Foxy, thank you for the Guilty of Crime membership. Rosie, I know what you're doing. Choo choo. All right, it's wild. This lady, like, I mean, does she not think that, or this potato, does she not think that we're gonna come back Have people called and yelled at you? Asshole. Some folks need to get a life. No, people don't call and yell, but well, yeah, actually last time I got a serious earful. I've gotten a few serious earfuls, all right? And I'm not playing that today. Choo choo. What up? All right. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys know everything that comes into the channel just goes right back to the channel. I just want you guys to know that. I put a lot of time and effort in, and also I do a lot of things that, like the website, the ghost, the everything that I do freaking costs because I want it to look nice. All right.
But the excuse is that she was extremely sleepy, drunk, and various other excuses which you'll hear her make. And yet in the linguistics, there is absolutely no mention of alcohol or a party atmosphere or any celebration, only sending them upstairs on the celebration night, birthday night of her daughter. No real discussion of any conversations with her daughter. In fact, her daughter's name is relegated to the pronoun she. Extremely unusual behavior.
You're fine. Take a minute. Okay? While you take a minute, I was going to ask you earlier, has anybody reached out to you during the time that you've been investigating this?
Here's the thing. Before we even get started, I'm not going to read the whole question, Lisa. I'm just going to answer it this way, all right? Yes, I'm broadcasting for prison today, hoping where Jen Soto goes. Let me just answer like this. Listen, Lisa. They totally think that she has an involvement. And when you watch this interview, they jab her. I'm going to tell you what I think's the problem in this case. Number one, I think the problem is law enforcement changed hands multiple times. Number two, this case got bigger than they thought it was going to be initially. Number three, they had no idea that they were going to find that magnitude of CSAM in STEPHAN'S on his phone. There's no way that anyone would have predicted that large of amount. And then they found Maddie's body, and Stephan was right there to point the finger at. Once they found the CSAM on his phone, they had not only their person that was producing, selling CSAM, but they also saw Maddie unalive in the car, and they went straight for the throat. They took the evidence that they had, and they didn't have to do any work for this lady. So I think it didn't get a fair, equal shot at looking at her because of the way it went down with Stephan. And yeah, law enforcement gets lazy, especially when they change hands. So I'm going to tell you, it's not about Jen Soto. It's about the law enforcement and sticking it to Stephan. Now, he deserves everything he got, but she also deserves that too. And they just got lazy, in my opinion. Thank you so much, True Crime Mitch AZ. You just can't, there's no other way I can say this. We're looking at them telling her, why are you covering up for this guy? How could you look at these photos and just say, yeah, let me see the next one? Oh, it's not evil. That's okay. All right. It's not about Jen Soto. It's that law enforcement didn't do their job properly and thoroughly. And I'm hoping that they go back and look at all this.
About having anything else? Negative, positive, neutral?
I know.
My best friends have all been in contact with me just to try to help me. There's setting up Facebook groups.
Did you notice that all of her best friends are trying to help me, she said, not her daughter?
Me.
So in terms of priority, it's herself again. The friends are trying to help me, she said, not help Maddie.
Scotland's in the house.
No negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
Not that I've seen.
She can't answer this damn question because she didn't get out there to do any of that. She said flyers while she drooled on her face. Flyers. And he's like, wait, what else? Not that I heard of, because I told people just to not text me or call me anymore. Call my sister because I needed to get some sleep. As she wipes the drool off her face with those damn paper towels. Oh, this lady makes me so damn mad. Scotland's in the house, Ireland's in the house, New Jersey's in the house, Arizona's in the house, California's in the house. What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. This bitch.
And avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, text, things like that?
That's fine.
Do you have the phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, we did receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications
Australia,
and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you. What's your password on it?
030288.
New York.
030288.
Connecticut.
Is that a birthday?
Canada.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
It's her birthday.
Right.
Today's the first.
Worst birthday ever. Worst birthday. He was asking what Madeline Soto's birthday was, and she gave him his. What? Canada. What's up? California love, baby. What? Did you see that? What do you call that in Spanish, guys? Pachetos? How do you say pachetos? Like this, she like this right now. She's dragging her lip on the floor right now. My worst birthday ever. Duh, my name. Oh man, we got some people in the house today. Arizona, Australia, Flyers. You get them Flyers. Massachusetts, Arizona, Idaho, Indiana, Germany, Maryland, Las Vegas. What's up, guys? It's good to see you, man. Belgium. Watching from Belgium, Rhode Island. Jennifer Soto, man. This lady, no drool for Jay. Man, I can't even drool like that. She's got it down. Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. Jennifer Soto, man. She's so phony. Her lips on the ground. All right, let's go. We'll watch it like this if you want. She's like this, look. It's my worst birthday ever.
So Jen says that this is the worst birthday for her ever. This is the worst birthday for her ever.
What about Maddie, bish?
Because it's her birthday soon. And the self-centeredness is off the scale.
Pucheros.
At this stage, her daughter is missing, or she is supposed to be thinking that her daughter is missing. And she's not talking about her daughter by name. She's not cooperating with the police officers to find her daughter. She's falling and acting into the performance of a suspect. She's acting like a suspect. It's unusual behavior, to say the least. It's almost as if she's not super keen, like a genuine mother whose daughter is missing. It's almost as if she's accepted that Madeline has passed away.
Oh, she has. First, she accepted many years ago what she handed Maddie over to Stephan for. And I believe absolutely. I'm never going to not believe that she's not the puppet master. I'm always looking for a reason to tell you guys how she's the puppet master, number one. Number two, she's crying for herself. She didn't even say her daughter's birthday. And then she's like, Flyers. Well, what else? I don't know. Nobody said anything. Come on, guys. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, this just is that she's going to immediately stop, and then those tears are just dry.
She's not acting or asking the correct questions.
I hope you guys can hear those crunchy ass paper towels. Those are some crunchy paper towels, guys. All right. Jen Soto is a mother faker, but they gave her some crunchy. She's just sitting there. You can hear just wiping across that ugly potato face. Oh my goodness. I guess I should be more animated more often. Guys, Cinch just gifted 20 Guilty of Crime memberships. Now's your opportunity to get one. Come on. Yeah, the roughest paper towels. They should give her those when she goes to wipe her ass, too. She's so disgusting. She can't even hold her hands right either. They don't know what's wrong with her. She's literally like this, guys. She's like wiping at her face. Is something wrong with her? Like, what is that? I don't know, but thank you, Synth.
This is self-pity. This isn't fear for her daughter.
Yep. Just take a nap.
So we can get it back to you before. Here, we don't keep it from you.
So you said about 9 o'clock on Monday, you wake up.
Yeah. I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment. I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45.
I'm telling you, that's all part of that alibi. And Stefan and her coordinated real good when he came home and she left. Don't you think? He coordinated way too good for not having a phone, right? Hashtag she took her meds, that's for sure. Jeez.
Okay, so this is interesting because she's already changing tenses. So rather than saying I left sometime between 9:30 and 9:45, she says I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45. Present tense. Sometimes when we fabricate a story, we use the present tense because our unconscious mind doesn't cooperate in the lie. There's a part of the brain called the broca, which is responsible for language production. And because of the speed that we speak and each word has to be chosen, if we try to do that consciously, we would probably stutter. And so we have to do it unconsciously in order to be able to choose the words at the speed that we choose them. However, mistakes can be made because the broker always operates on truth. So it will use the incorrect articles. As an example, it might use the instead of a or an, and the. And
you can't get past this guy, the Veriscope. You can't, I mean, law enforcement should have some kind of linguistics analysis. There should be a person that does linguistics analysis or at least takes a second look at it, guys, because I guarantee you, right here in this interview, if you take this interview and then you take the interview with her lawyer and then you even take that first news station, and I think it was Shannon Butler. I think Shannon Butler was that lady that called into law enforcement and said the math ain't mathing with these two. Something's wrong. I've got the perpetrator right here that's crying his eyes out. Now that was talking about Stefan and Jen, and she's not even going out. She's not saying her daughter's name. I wish I had that because I heard Shannon Butler or somebody in the news talking about how her skills kicked in and she reached out to law enforcement and said, we're trained to see people that are lying on the news when a child goes missing, and they nailed it. But if you take all three of the interviews and you look up the linguistics analysis, you'll see exactly what he's saying and a lot more. And this is the same interview where she sees the pictures of her daughter being assaulted. No big deal. Right after she sees that picture of Maddie giving Stefan a blowjob, she calls Chris to get him a lawyer. Make that make sense, guys.
Indicates that you've seen the object before, whereas a man you might not have seen, whereas the man you have. And so what is correct, what is truthful, what is a fabrication?
Hey,
You'll
B-Roll.
often find truthful articles and tenses in the fabrication, which
Hey, Mama
don't
Sleuth.
match the fabrication's correct tense. If that makes any sense, I apologize if I've confused anyone. But to make it simple, what we notice here is that she's changed tenses for what should be the past. In other words, I left sometime between 9:30, and instead she's changed it to I leave sometime. Incorrect tense. It's a unconscious.
Ooh, I didn't even know that, guys. That is a big deal when she says I leave at 9:30. It means it to me it sounds like it was something that was pre-scripted with Stefan, and she said, okay, check this out. You're gonna go say you're going to a special breakfast with Maddie. You're gonna leave early. I didn't wake up, but because you told me I'd walk the dog. I gave you the leash, went back to sleep. I leave at 9:30. By 9:45 or 10, you come back. We'll check in together, but do not take your phone. Now, I'm just imagining the conversation that's happening because she's literally talking about the way it's scripted, and it's literally written in a police report that she changed tenses of Maddie. Several times she used Maddie in the past tense in the very beginning. So when she says this, she's talking to this officer like if her and Stefan are scripting it together. You do this, I leave here, I do this. I didn't even catch that before. Introville says, here, I'm crying, laughing, watching you imitate Jen. Yeah, she's crazy. What's up, Snee? How you doing? All right, so she's giving us her best script, and it just doesn't add up.
Broker making a mistake.
And I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while.
No, they didn't take a while.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp.
Now, listen, but if he doesn't catch that, I just caught it because now she's talking like she's scripting it. She literally just said right now, I went and did my blood work, but she was talking like it was happening right now. She said, I go get my blood work done. And when I go get my blood work done, it takes longer than it normally does. She's not saying that she went and got her blood work. And when she did, it took, listen how she said that. She didn't say it took longer. She says, I take longer on this appointment. What? I hope you guys heard that because she's talking as if it's happening right now, or if she's telling someone, when I do this, I go at 9:30. It takes longer than it should. I come back, meet you here. You do this. What? That's weird. You heard that? Hit that like button, guys.
Do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh, wait, I'm on my phone.
Okay, now she completely stopped crying. She literally went from, ah! So hold on, where's my phone? Okay, you guys, do me a favor. There's 361 people in here, and there's only 100 and something likes. Please hit that like button for me. And if you're not going to be able to enter into the drawing if you don't hit the like button too. We're strategic with that, right? So come on, those 100 and something people will be the only one that gets to win something if you don't do it. All right, so let's go. Yeah, she just stopped crying. Absolutely stopped crying. Hey, Kelly, what's up? I remembered today. All right.
When we get it back,
Wait, she just laughed. She didn't only stop crying. Hold on. All right, so she's blowing her nasty nose, and now she's going to start laughing in a second.
Do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh, wait, I'm on my phone.
When we get it back,
Is she flirting
That
with him?
was
What
not
happened?
funny.
No, it wasn't.
It's. You need to Google it. It's the LabCorp across the street from the Loop in Kissimmee.
Okay, got it.
Had my.
Wait, what? What'd she say?
I finished there sometime between 11:15, then I headed home.
Yeah, she's gone to the correct tense again.
When I got home, Stefan was there.
She's still saying it as if it's happening, though. She's literally saying as if it's happening. She says 11:15. I go home. she's still in that first person like she's doing it right now. She would have said it was 11:30, 11:15. I went home, and she's still saying it in the present tense, like if it's happening right now, or if she's telling Stefan at 11 or 11:15, I head home. Not I headed home at 11:15. It's like it never happened, but she's saying it now. It just doesn't make sense. And what's up, Malibu Surf? You're laughing out loud like a lunatic at the gym? Well, keep on laughing. Thank you so much, Lori, for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Wild. This bitch is crazy.
I had talked to him a little bit earlier while I was waiting for my blood work appointment, and he let me know, oh, I'm so sorry, I left my phone at home by accident. School, everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick.
Nope, and
she
nope.
slept most of the way in the car.
No, she didn't.
I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, but she said no.
Nope.
Because that was the plan, was that they were going to stop at McDonald's that morning to get breakfast.
Okay, so whenever we hear the word the plan in forensic linguistics and statement analysis, our ears pay attention. And she says, because that was the plan. Because that was the plan, was that they were going to stop at McDonald's that morning and go get breakfast. I believe that there's another plan, because she says, oh, I'm so sorry. Stefan says, oh, I'm so sorry. I left my phone at home by accident. Everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick. She slept most of the way in the car. I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, but she said no, because that was the plan, was that they were going to stop at McDonald's that morning.
Now, again, she's still lying up until this point, guys. This is the complete and utter script right here. This is it. Right now, she had no idea that they were going to find Maddie's body just shortly after this. Now, I'm looking at the clock on the wall, and it says almost 3 o'clock. I think they found her within the next hour and a half, around 4:30 that day. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. Coco says, I love how Jay corrects Jen and she is lying. Nope. I'm doing the same. I didn't expect you to react to my comment now. Customize and looks at my TV. What's up, intro file? How you doing? Oh man, that's funny. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, you listen to what she's saying. That is the plot right there, and that still makes me pissed off that she doesn't get arrested just on the basis of lying and aiding and abetting a criminal. Even if they thought she didn't know at all, why didn't they think of that? The fact that she was the only one that had a phone that day, and Stefan didn't know where the hell she was going. Finally caught up. What's up? Is it Christine? How you doing? All right.
And go get breakfast. The linguistics are fractured and incorrectly structured. This appears to me, in my opinion, that this has been constructed with Stefan. The real plan was to come up with this story.
He said that he had gone to the vape shop and they were closed and they didn't open. So he waited there for a while and left, and then said he was going to go back later. When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting, we were talking.
Okay, so her mind went into the unconscious recall there. And when we hear the normal factor in statement analysis, again, our ears pay attention. She says, everything was normal. We were chatting. We were talking. This is psychological closeness with the perpetrator.
Yep, absolutely. We know that.
So not just everything was normal, but he was acting normal. And it's important for her to tell us this. And remember, at this stage, the daughter is still missing. We don't have a murder investigation.
Nope.
Although the police do know certain things from the phone. As far as Jen, if she's innocent, is concerned, at this stage, it's a missing child. So for her to have a need to tell us that everything was normal when it's abnormal, and he was acting normal when he clearly isn't, is supporting the perpetrator.
And we already know she's doing that, guys, because she hasn't even called Chris at this point yet, because she doesn't call Chris until after she sees the photos. So, I mean, it would make sense, and I'd be a little okay had she called Stephan's dad before all of this happened, if she really didn't think anything was wrong and she wanted to get him out of trouble. But right after she saw those pictures, she's like, shit, we need to get you a lawyer. And Melissa Firestone, thank you so much. Jay, been watching you for a while. Love your channel and your awesome personality. Much love. Thank you. And also to you, Lori Miner, for the Cash App. I appreciate you. Is she hiding now? Well, I think that she's hiding just right around the corner from her house, you guys. She's not too far.
He was acting normal. He was sitting in my computer chair just messing around on his phone while we were.
Okay, this is the part right now, guys, that is going to make all you mad. And I know you already know it, but this is the part where they're sitting behind the computer at some point, even though Stephan didn't have a phone and there was no way for him to call her and for them to coordinate. There was a reason for that, so nothing would get on the phone. They meet back at the house and they chit-chat. At that time, Stephan resets his phone twice, and she accidentally says that, all right? Then they ate lunch after this interview on the way home. Well, because they don't have anything to worry about. They actually didn't know. They didn't think they were going to find Maddie so quickly, guys.
Hanging out, he mentioned something along the lines of,
We also pay attention to the word just. So here she says just messing around on his phone. And what we would do is we would mark it and put in a flag. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but we look after enough flags are in the statement, we look for clusters and superclusters. So the word just would require a flag.
oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. I
Oh,
should
yeah,
probably update it now. And I said, do it. Don't avoid it. Just get it over with.
Don't do it. Don't avoid it. Just get it over with. The morning that your daughter is missing, which she didn't know that. She thought Maddie had a special McDonald's breakfast with Stephan and she was dropped off at school. Right, guys? Wink, 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 wink. All right. Why not? Right? Now's the time. Don't avoid it. Let me help you. Why don't you give it to me? I'll reset it the second time for you.
And he updates his
Bullshit.
phone. And then tells me, oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed, but I just factory reset my entire phone. And I said, how the hell does that happen? That gives you options now when you reset your phone? He goes, yeah, apparently I wasn't paying attention and it just, I just pressed the button and it happened.
It's not a button.
Said, oh, that's unfortunate. That sucks.
That sucks. Oh, golly gee.
Okay. I think we should analyze this particular statement that she said in detail. So here we have an immediate reason why, which is why we mark it in blue. And we mark the pronouns in red. So I had a later appointment.
This bitch, man.
When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting. He was acting, sorry, there was a mistake in this transcript. So if we, I do apologize. This is because I can't edit, so I have to do everything live. Okay, this is the
I know.
correct part
I
of the
know.
transcript.
That's wild, man.
The part above is incorrect. She said, when I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting. We were talking. He was acting normal here. So here we put it in pink because, not because we're looking at the normal factor, which we do in statement analysis.
Shout out to Big Girl for Life. I haven't seen you in a minute, my friend. Good to see you. Happy Friday. I got to also interject on this conversation that we're listening to or analyzing, because another thing about this whole conversation is when somebody is creating themselves an alibi, they give you increments of a timeline that's exact. Like they'll tell you, oh, at 5:05 I went here and I was back by 5:20. she's done that over and over, guys. And I don't know if he catches this or not, but 9:15, 11:15. She's very, very precise when there's no reason to be, because at this point, Maddie should technically have just been at a friend's house and came home and walked in at any minute. But she's creating an alibi, and it's the script that she has to stick by, that she created for her and Stefan, and they made sure that they corroborated that story, right? But Stefan has trouble telling that story when he gets into the interview room because, number one, he's sleeping half the time, and number two, when he's not sleeping, they already know he's lying. He shuts down, and you can kind of see right through him. What kind of pictures do you have on your phone? Oh, just pictures of when we're at Disney, maybe some swimming What other kind of pictures might you have? Do I need an attorney? He can't even pull off that script the way Jen can. Yes, they had extra time, and they make sure that they're right on point with letting you know that at that very moment that they saw Stefan out there dumping Maddie's body or throwing stuff away at the trash can, she was at a doctor's appointment. That wasn't her that did that. All right. Britterbug, shout out to you for making it live. This bitch.
Very often, deceptive statements include this type of phraseology. I guess it's the person trying to convince us rather than convey that everything is normal. But the reason why it's gone pink here is because it's sensitive. If you remember from parts 1 and 2, words or phrases close together in a sentence or paragraph,
yes, lightsabers,
we notice and we mark them as sensitive. And here it's twice as bad because we've got a sensitive normal factor. He was sitting in my computer chair just messing around on his phone while we, closeness to the perpetrator, were hanging out. He mentioned minimization, something along the lines of minimization and obscuring. Oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. Okay. Suddenly out of the blue.
Do you think what she really wanted to say that was they were avoiding deleting all of those photos for a really long time? I don't think Stefan wanted to get rid of those photos either, guys. I mean, we see the sentiment with Stefan and Maddie, right? I mean, I don't think that if any one of you talk to Stefan at any given time, I'm surprised, but he told it like it was. Maddie was his favorite person, and according to him, she was his. He did not want to get rid of those photos that he had collected for so very long, especially because Maddie was gone. She was no longer with us, and he knew that. So just get it over with is what she's saying. Get it over with, delete those pictures, but I don't want to. I'm not going to have anything left. I'm not going to be able to take anymore. She's not with us. All right. So why? Of course he's dreading that. What's up, Dream Buddy? How you doing? All right. Angel in disguise. I'm like, wait, of course Jennifer Soto knew. I know all along she was just putting an act besides responsible mom anyway, so she should be charged for failing to be responsible. And about 5 other charges that we can name off the top of our head, but we won't right now.
He's just standing there, mucking around on his phone in the computer chair. Everything was normal, don't forget. And it's very important for Jen to tell us that he was acting normal when he suddenly says, oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. These linguistics are the person making up a fabrication and a story to join in with the destruction of evidence, in my opinion.
And the only one that had a phone that day. And Michelle, you're right. And I was real surprised. I gotta say, I was very surprised. I do think that although Stefan on the news may have been crying for himself, I still think that he was crying for Maddie. It surprised me quite a bit when he was open about that letter, the love letter to Maddie. He was very open about it and very willing to talk about how much he loved Maddie. Again, he was very open when he made his statement. The one statement in court was about Maddie again. So Michelle, you're right. you're right. In my opinion, you're absolutely 110% right.
And then she goes on to say, and I said, don't avoid it. So she's admitting she's getting involved in the destruction of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And she's using, she's scared and fearful that this will come out. So she's preempting, in my opinion. She says, don't avoid it,
Possibly.
just get it over with, is not the linguistics of someone updating their software on their phone. Just get it over with is the linguistics of evidence destruction.
Yep, there you go. That's exactly what it is.
He updates his phone and then tells me, oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed,
That too.
I just factory reset my entire phone.
All right, big girl for life. Just quickly, we're talking about Jen Soto knows exactly who cleaned up that messy crime scene. Linguistics. This is linguistics analysis of Jen's interview, which we were just showing. You hopped in when we're looking at a bunch of words. We're watching Jen so miserably lie through her teeth about Maddie and what happened that morning, and Jen trying to give herself an alibi. Now, remember, big girl for life, the number one thing that we talked about today, while Stephan was getting rid of Maddie's body, the only one that had a phone was the puppet master, Jen Soto. Stephan left his phone at home, so it couldn't be tracked or pinged to where he dumped Maddie. And Maddie wasn't alive anymore and supposedly accidentally left her phone at home. So Stephan didn't know the area enough to know where to dump Maddie, where the gators were, and he didn't make it because he got a flat tire. That's what we're talking about today. And we're doing call-ins later. You might want to listen. They get a little spicy. Good to see you.
And I said Jen, how the hell does that happen? And I think she went on to say that it sucks.
Yeah.
So if we have a look at the next stage.
Welcome.
And we'll go back.
Yep. You got it.
The video.
Later on, he tells me he's going to go back out, and I think this is around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Still on Monday?
Yes, still Monday. 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going to go back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops, and then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30. So
word for word for word for word for word, scripted. And those damn times, I'm telling you, if you talk to anybody that does this all day, every day, Ed and Ron, you know I've been on Duty Ron's channel a couple of times, and I've had some good conversations with Ed and Ron, and they absolutely believe that she scripted this, and then the time of the story is an alibi. The blood work, the sleeping, even to the degree that she was sleeping. This is why she wanted them to think that she was sleeping. She used the dog as a way to say I was so passed out. As a matter of fact, while I was sleeping, the dog had to go pee. And I remember Stephan coming in and me waking up and handing him the leash, and then he left. And then I didn't wake up till 9:30 again and went to it. And then between 9:15 and 9:30, I mean, this is just, come on. Yeah, this is. Thank you.
we left. I hung out in the house for a while. Just waiting for 2:30 to roll around.
Thank you.
2:30 rolled around, and I'm already calling Stephan, and he's not picking up his phone. 2:30 comes. I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call.
Right.
2:30 comes. I leave.
Okay, so.
Well, before he says that, mind you, a lot of things never happened before. Mind you, she says Stephan had never taken Maddie to school before either. That was a first. So that being a first, don't you think this Beezy would be awake so she could answer the phone in case Stefan had a question about something? That was the first time, remember? Why would he take the fall for Jen? Well, listen, we don't know because he doesn't answer that question. Let me tell you, Deb has asked him, I don't know how many, I can count that on my hands and my toes and then still add some, how many times Deb has asked her son, why are you covering for Jen? And he avoids the question. He'll answer it a bit, but more like, don't forget, she's a grieving mother too. And that's it. But I got to tell you, he did not take the fall for Jen when it came to the death of Maddie because of the way that he pled. All right. That leaves a door open to also take a look at her and put her on the chopping block with him. I hope the police do that. Do you think the cops were only looking to get Stefan and could care less? I think that they initially wanted to get both of them, but with the harsh evidence that Stefan had that was undeniable, they went and they locked him up and they prosecuted him all the way. Not that they didn't care less. They just don't have as tight of a case as they do with Stefan. They got videos, meaning videos of him dumping her school items, videos of him driving to dump her body. Then they have him going back to visit her body. Then they have 35,000 images. They had so much evidence on Stefan and only a bunch of circumstantial evidence on Jen. All right.
By now, you should be automatically picking up the tense change.
She can still be charged.
It's
absolutely.
It should be past tense,
Yep.
but it's gone to present tense. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It doesn't prove any truth, but we place a flag in the tense change on the basis that eventually in the documentation, we're looking for clusters of flags and clusters of superclusters. In innocent statements, we will see flags randomly, and it's normal. And it's just coincidence. We speak in certain ways and we don't get everything correct. But in deceptive statements, and pretty much only deceptive statements, although there are some rarities, but pretty much in only deceptive statements, we see this human pattern of deception, which is unique.
Yep.
And it consists of the clusters and the superclusters that you do not get in innocent statements.
About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, I just got back home. I left my phone home again. I'm so sorry.
I would never directly connect an episode on YouTube to get her arrested at all, but we don't feel like we have closure on this case that we've been following since day one. So no, if I really thought that she would get arrested for me doing this, I'd do it every single day. No, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just keeping the community aware of what has happened up until now, and it's something to talk about because we did not feel like we got justice. So no, Catherine, to answer your question, I don't feel like that it would get her arrested, because if that was, I'd do it every single day at 4:00. I'd be covering Jen Soto. All right. And yes, the momster does watch my channel. I know that she watches my channel. I know the family watches my channel. I do know that. All right. Let's go.
How long ago did you leave? And I said, about 10 minutes ago. He goes, I'm so sorry, I missed it. I really wanted to go with you. And I was like, it's fine. I figured he wasn't going to make it, because when I looked at the time when he left and said he was going to visit 3 shops, I didn't think he had enough time to visit them.
Bullshit.
He told me while he was gone that he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. The wheel just shredded, fell apart. So he was changing the tire, and it took him a really long time to do it. He said he hurt his thumb while changing the tire, like the frame or something slipped and something pinched his finger, and he ended up having to yank it out. And he said he hurt his finger.
Okay, I do apologise. It looks like I've fast forwarded a little bit, but it's actually quite provident, because she has told us about the tire change and about the injury to the hand, and she uses the phraseology, and he had to yank it out. This could possibly be knowledge of the crime scene and what happened and leakage. And I
remember, they scripted the shit out of this, guys. Stefan said the exact same thing, and he said it just like this. I changed the tire, and that janky tire iron. I mean, word for freaking word, guys. How did she know that if she wasn't with him? Because they scripted it. All right. And, I do think that the Sotos absolutely said okay to that plea deal that Stephan took, because they did not want to have to go into court and have Jennifer on the stand. And that would have happened. You better damn right bet she would be a freaking witness for the state, whether she liked it or not. All right. That's not her choice. Yeah. Tire irons can be janky.
I'm starting to believe that he could have been bitten.
Ooh, bitten?
Oh,
Interesting. Yeah, 192.
I want to touch on something real quick.
Yeah, and if you might notice from her body language there that she went inside, she went into a mild hypnotic state as she was recalling a certain scene.
When you were calling him, he eventually tells you that he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
Yep.
no. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs and I wouldn't have heard it. It would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you typically go upstairs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Only if I'm doing laundry.
You hear how quick she shut that shit down, y'all? They were like, and then what they're asking right now, because they've already went into that condo that night when I gotta get my meds. Can I get back in there? I need to get my meds. Nothing about Maddie. Nothing about, I want to be here in case Maddie comes home. I need to get my meds. Yeah, who, me? Exactly. Literally. Nope. Do you go upstairs? Nope. You're telling me she doesn't go upstairs? It's because she doesn't want to say that she knew that there was a tripod with a bunch of oh, someone's calling in right now. My bad. I am not taking call-in yet, my friends. Okay. I'm going to hang this bad boy. I am taking call-ins after this, but not right now. All right. And G says, I'm a subscriber, J and crew. I wish I knew what your name was besides NG. Let me know who you are. All right. Let's go. We're going to do call-ins after this. Let's get this going. But no, she didn't ever go upstairs. Whole condo. She never goes upstairs, guys.
Ooh. Okay. So, one of the tenets of statement analysis, humans will often buy cognitive time by questioning the question. So in this case, he asked, did you go upstairs? And she said, who, me? And she's the only person in the room that is being asked questions by two detectives. So she does know it's her that is being addressed, but she purchases extra cognitive time to think by asking who, me. Other ways which we commonly do that is saying, pardon me, or sorry. What did you say?
Pardon me, or sorry? What do you say? Who, me? That's what I'm going to do next time y'all ask me a question. I don't want to answer it. Who, me? Now, listen, Molly, the family gets a portion of the decision. Ultimately, the state of Florida or the state of, where's Koberger? Half the people in the Koberger case, Idaho, did not want to do the deal, and half the families wanted to do the deal. So they do absolutely ask the family about if they are okay with taking a plea because X, Y, and Z. So absolutely, they do give the families a bit of a decision. In this case, it was Jen Soto as the parent and Tyler Wallace. Tyler Wallace wanted to get this done with. I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, he wanted to get this done with. He does not have the money to come back and forth to go to these different trials. I'll tell you that with all my knowing. So yes, they absolutely get a say in that, and I can see why. Did you guys see who was there? Okay, I called in with a theory. Chris says, sorry, you couldn't talk. No, Deb, I want you to call in, but when we do call-ins, can you call in? I mean, if you want to call now, I can have you call back if you want to talk about that. Let me know. You can text me, Deb. I definitely want to hear what Chris's theory was, please. All right. Or we can wrap this up and then you can call in right after, Deb, because I haven't got to hear that yet. And I'm sure the audience is very interested to hear what you have to say about this. I mean, you guys have a lot more knowing than we do of the paperwork and the behind the scenes stuff.
where we heard perfectly well, and the person knows we heard perfectly well, but it's a technique which we learned from childhood to fib. In this case, what's interesting is she's buying cognitive time for a reason. So we can say that the question, did you go upstairs, is sensitive. Let's hear that again.
So I was just curious if you had heard the phone when you were trying to call. That he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
No. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs.
No,
and I wouldn't have
me?
known it would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you typically go upstairs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Who, me?
Only from doing laundry.
Oh my God.
And she says,
Oh, wait, and who, me? Only if I do laundry. Wait, what? Only if I do laundry. Do you think she actually did Mandy's laundry? If she did, then why didn't she see all the stuff that was happening to her? Who, me? Got me rolling, just like you sure do have a purty mouth. Oh wow, okay. I don't know, that was not the number that came in, Dan. That's wild. That did not come in. All right, we're gonna have to, Deb, when I'm ready to go, that did not come in. I'm gonna have you, I'll text you, okay? Because that was not the number that came in. I got guilty of crime boyfriend, girlfriend. Are you busy right now? Oh, I did get it, Deb. Okay, I got you. We'll wait as soon as we're done, guys. All right, Deb's going to come on and tell us her theory. You sure do have a party mouth. I'm not talking to you, Deb. I do like you, but I would never say that to you. All right, let's listen to some more lies.
only if she's doing laundry. And she bought cognitive time, so she's sensitive about going upstairs. And we have a crime scene that needs clearing up. Laundry needs to happen.
I was just curious if you had heard the phone when you were trying to call him that day.
I didn't.
She got away with it. She got away with the buying the cognitive time and the laundry. The detectives have moved on. The sigh was relief.
Yes.
Okay.
Commercials.
Apologies for the advertisement coming up. It's good time to have a look at the statement in detail. So, Jen Soto says, yes, still Monday, 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops. And then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30. We make a note of this time, normally in the left-hand margin, or we've done it this way.
Yep.
So we can go shopping together. Unity. Unity. Strangely enough, it is a good chance to impart another principle. If I were to say to you, my wife and I went to the shops to buy some clothes, or if I said another way and I said, I went to the shops to buy some clothes with my wife. Well, in the first statement, my wife and I are very close together linguistically. And in the second statement, I went to the shops to buy some clothes with my wife. The pronoun I and wife are as far apart as possible in the statement. So we probably had an argument that morning you might deduce if you knew about statement analysis. But here, as the example, we have we can go shopping together. So we have unity with the perpetrator. And here we have a dropped pronoun, and dropped pronouns are very important to us in statement analysis because sometimes it indicates the person is removing themselves from the psychological responsibility. It doesn't always mean that, but it does mean that it gets and deserves a flag. And here we have another dropped pronoun. So hung out in the house for a while. We have...
Yeah, man, when you break this down like that, it's wild what Jen Soto is saying. She's like, yeah, still Monday. And when you look at the context of what she's saying, there's not much context to it, guys. The context is very freaking limited, and that's on purpose. The way it's scripted is ridiculous. I mean, I've never looked at it like this, but look at this. I'm already called Steven. Stefan. He's picking. I leave. I get a phone call. I just got back home. I left my phone. I'm sorry. How long did you leave? I said about. He told me I've never seen it like this. So what? Man, it brings a new meaning, and I can't wait to hear what Deb says. So I'm gonna give her a call. You should stay here, Carrie, because nobody's gotten arrested but me. Apparently, if you could see me back there, look at me behind. I'm in the jail cell, arrested. I'm the only one that's been arrested. The potato's still walking around, but Deb wants to call in and tell us Chris's theory, and I have a feeling people want to hear that because the other day when I got off of my live, I heard a whole other channel talking about Deb, that what she was talking about in chat. And I was really surprised that they were even bringing that up. They were like, did you hear what Deb Sturton said? And then they're like, wait, we didn't hear. We saw it in chat. I was surprised to hear these channels watching mine. They'll never say my name, but they watch. All right. They do watch. They watch and they listen.
For temporal lacuna here, which is time gap.
Temporal
missing.
lacuna. That's
We don't
deceptive
know
detective.
how long the wire was. Missing pronoun was waiting for 2:30 from it. So
Yes.
here we can start to see that 2:30 is important to Jennifer. So important and so sensitive that she mentions it 4 times in a very short period of time.
Always.
Here
baby,
you'll notice we
always.
have an incorrect pronoun. I left, it should say, but I leave is how it comes across. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, I just got back home. I left my phone.
I know.
Again.
I
I'm
do
so
know.
sorry, which is sensitive. How long ago did you leave?
Yep, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I said about 10 minutes ago. He goes, I'm so sorry. One of the wonderful things about statement analysis and deception detection is after a while,
and
you
a cleaner.
start to recognize the style of linguistics and the fractured
Okay. All right.
sentences. And it
Yes.
almost becomes like an accent. So if you imagine hearing French once or twice, and then on for life, you'll recognize a French accent, no matter what the words are being used. And statement analysis is similar to that. When we lie, we tend to use this similar linguistics across cultures, across even languages. Obviously, there are differences, but the way humans lie is consistent and common and uniform. So, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I wonder what this apology is really about.
Right.
And this is what happens
What is she sorry
when
for?
there's deception. A lot of the truth leaks in. And most of the deception is from omission rather than commission.
Call me Cupcake.
This is the skill of finding it all. But I'm hoping if you've seen episodes 1 and 2, and now this is the 3rd, you're already starting to see all of this and improve your ability to be excellent statement analysts yourselves. And I'm hoping that in the comments.
I love that he does this because we now know Deception Detective has got something similar. The fact that he's got this deck that helps tremendously. It's very similar, I'm sure. This guy does statement analysis, but he also does body language with statement analysis, which is really important because if you were to take Jen Soto's normal conversation, it wouldn't look anything like this. I'm betting on it. All right. So let me go a little bit more forward. We get this. I can't wait to hear from Chris.
Thanks, Chief. We'll take some questions, but just remember, we're still in the middle of this investigation. There's a lot of things.
Thank you for being here. As Sheriff Mina said, this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and there is a lot of additional information that we cannot release at this time.
Oh my God, that sounds like gray pubes, doesn't it? I need money to bail me out. You remember, did anybody watch Gray Hughes? He'd stand there and put the bars in front of him, and he's like, I'm not talking until someone pays my bill. Yeah, Claudia, I can't get out of the jail unless you give me some commissary money. And of course I have the deception deck, even though the deception deck is like $80, but it's so worth it. Don't even get me started. I'm talking to my son and I'm like, are you assessing motivations? Or are you honestly, what are you honestly trying to say to me? I'm all getting the cards out. You know what I like about this guy though? This guy doesn't have a bias. He doesn't have a bias, and you know why? Because he is not invested in the case like that. All right, he's not invested. Yeah, give me some bond money, or I'm not going to be able to talk. Where's my bail? Get me out of jail. All right, I'm just playing with you guys, but I thought it was funny anyway. What's up, my friend? Good to see you, and big hug. Much love. All right, let's get back to this. I thought that was funny, though. Thank you for making me laugh. All right. Finish this up, and then we're going to listen to Big Daddy Chris.
I do want to note that Stephan Stearns was transported from the Orange County Jail to the Osceola County Jail, where he is being held on capital sexual battery charges filed by the Kissimmee Police detectives. Right now, our top priority is recovering Madeline.
Madeline. Okay, that's getting all grainy. I'm gonna do this. I can't hear what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to call Chris right now and see if I can get somebody on the phone. Hold on real quick. So buckle in, guys. Let's see if I can get this going. Once I do get Chris on the phone, I will I'll put it over to that. I'll put it over to the phone. I haven't had to dial a number in a while. What is up with that? Hold on. 0? What am I don't even know how many numbers there are on. What am I doing here? All right. I guess you don't have to dial the 1. Is that what it is? Hold on. That's funny. It doesn't just let me call it back. Does anyone else have Google Voice? Want to help me out? I don't need help. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to. It's much easier when you guys call in. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Chris on the phone real quick. All right, I'm trying to call. You guys can't hear it yet because if he doesn't answer, I can't. All right, Deb, can you hear me, Deb? I am calling right now. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Let me put you on here real quick. Let me drop this off. Thank you for I actually like your dad jokes, man. Hold on, let me put this on the right thing so I don't share your number. I don't want to be a goofball. All right, we can hear you. Come on, Deb, don't make him tell you again. Just kidding. All right, Chris, we got you. Can you guys hear him? I can hear you. That's all that matters.
I can hear you.
All right, what do you got?
So I'm going to share with you the events that took place on that Monday.
Okay. Oh, good.
And then kind of take you through the days afterwards.
Okay.
So I get a call about 1:15, 1:17 from Stephan, and his voice sounds a little off. And then we chat a little bit, nothing of any consequence. And then he says, "Oh, I had a flat tire." Oh. Really? Where'd you have a flat tire? 192. Oh, okay. Now that's a very busy highway. It's a 4-lane highway. Maybe it's even 6-lane, but it's a very busy highway. A lot of commercial businesses there. And so he tells me that he ran the tire off the rim. I go, "You what?" On a busy highway with commercial businesses all over the place, why didn't you just pull in the parking lot? Well, I was in the inside lane and I just couldn't get over. Okay, lie number 1.
Right.
So anyway, I said, "Well, take it straight over to the tire place," and I'm sitting there adding up the dollars and cents this is going to cost me, because not only do you have to replace the tire, you have to replace the whole rim.
Right.
So it's going to be a very expensive repair. So I take it over there and get the tire fixed, because it's one of these temporary tires. You only got 50 miles to drive on the thing.
Right.
So we ended the conversation, and then a few hours later, it was just a few minutes before 5, and I know the exact time because when the phone rang, I looked at the phone to see who it was,
Right.
And I said, wow, 454. I said, this is really kind of strange. The hair on the back of my neck went up because now I'm getting 2 calls from him.
Right.
And the same afternoon. And keep in mind, when Stephan went away, you very rarely ever heard from him.
Right. Right.
He was only gone for a temporary amount of time, and you would never hear from him. Now I hear from him twice in one afternoon.
Right.
So he starts to tell me, well, I'm on my way over to Jen's mother's office because something happened with Maddie. Maddie wasn't in school all day.
Right.
And then he proceeds to tell me that he dropped her off, gave me the whole scenario, just like the story that we've all heard.
Right. The script.
Drove off, could see her, fidgeting around in her purse, explained to me why he dropped her off where he did, because she didn't want to be seen being dropped off in that car. And then just tells me this whole story.
Right.
So, later that evening, he calls me up and, really is now playing this hard.
Right.
Playing this story hard. And he's telling me, how concerned he is that this area of town is notorious for child abductions, for sex trafficking.
Oh my God.
So
yeah,
I'm now going to bed thinking the worst case scenario for Maddie, that she's in some kind of shipping container crammed in there with a bunch of other young girls.
Oh my God.
No place to eat.
That could be real in Florida, right? I mean, that's a good story to sell. Yeah. Right.
But this is the story he's played out with me.
Right.
So, thinking back on that, I accept him. I accept him that something's happened to Maddie.
Right.
At that point, I don't know what's going on because I'm not local. I'm not there to be with him per se and know exactly what the truth is and what isn't.
Right.
And so, I go to bed thinking the worst things, and I hear from Stephan later Tuesday, the next day,
right,
late in the afternoon, maybe early evening, telling me that they've been displaced from the townhome. They're not allowed to be in there, and that the police are there searching the house.
Okay.
And then they're calling, and first they're calling me on Jen's phone, which is unusual.
Right.
So then I come to find out that they've asked for Stephan's phone, and he gave it to the police. And I said, well, is there any reason why you wouldn't? There was a pause. And then he said, no.
Right.
I said, well, okay, you got nothing to worry about. I wish I had been aware of the news interview Tuesday morning, because my conversation and tone with Stephan at that time, because I'm just still gathering facts myself,
right,
trying to understand what's taking place, and all I've got to go by is what he's telling me.
Right.
But I wish I'd seen that interview that Tuesday morning, because I would have seen right through it, just like everybody else did.
Right.
And so then I guess that call Tuesday was around 7 p.m. About 10 o'clock, 10:15, I had turned in. Phone rings, and now it's Stephan again. And he said, can you come up to Orlando? And I said, yeah, like now? He said, yeah. I said, why? He said, well, just for support. I said, okay.
For financial support?
Well, I don't know if it was financial. It wasn't asking for money.
Oh, okay. I thought you rented I guess I thought you rented the hotels. I guess I can ask you that question.
No, they paid their own, but I did pay for the dog to stay.
Okay. All right.
Which is equivalent to a room.
Right. Okay.
It was $150.
Right.
First of all, they had called me several times after I agreed to come up about locating a hotel. And Jen said, "Oh, I found one. It's a town plaza, and it's a real affordable rate." Well, got out there and found out it was twice the money. And dogs stay free. No, dogs didn't stay free. So I agreed to pay for the dog.
Right.
So now this is 2 o'clock in the morning. I get up there. Well, actually, let me go back. So, we're talking around 7 o'clock, and then we talk a few more times, and we talk about where we're going to stay, and yada, yada. So I get up, and now I got to pack a bag, and I'm going to jump in the shower real quick. And, I turned to Debbie when I was getting ready, and I turned to her, and I asked her a question. I said, do we really know our son?
Oh.
And because now I'm starting to have a lot of doubt and suspicion. If I had seen that interview Tuesday morning, I would have already answered my own question. but I didn't. So 2:15, 2:20, we get checked in. I turn to go to Stephan's room after I get in my room, and he's either acting or he's really acting like, or he's almost passing out because he's so exhausted.
Right.
And he was cold. He was shaking. I went and got a blanket out of the closet, put it around him, and I said, "I'll get a good night's sleep. I'll see you in the morning." So I turned in at 2:30. Now that I find out afterwards, within an hour, he was out of the room. I guess he went to the Kissimmee, then he went to St. Cloud, and then he came down to Northport.
Yeah.
I go, I learned all this Wednesday evening when I finally get a chance to sit down with the police, and they're asking questions, and I'm giving them information. Have nothing to hide. Completely open about and honest about my questions and what have you. But I get a call from Jen at 9:45. Now I got up early with only a few hours sleep and went over to the office in Orlando, and I get a call from her at 9:45. Do you know where Stephan is? What do you mean? Do I know where he is? Where is he? Well, he's not here.
You're like, I thought we were in the same hotel, right?
Yeah. I said, well, maybe he's down in the lobby. Have you checked the lobby? No. I said, well, go down to the lobby. Maybe he's down in the lobby. And then we hung up. And then a minute later, I go, wait a minute. I call her back and I said, do you have your keys? Well, she makes this rustling noise in her purse. And then she says, no. I said, okay. Where did he go? He's got the car. So then, and so I just hung up and I said, well, call me if he shows up. And then she calls back about 15 minutes later. Oh, I just got a call from the sheriff's department. Detectives are coming over here. They want to ask some questions.
Okay.
I said, okay. Well, what time did they say they'd be there? Within an hour. So, okay, I'll come over. Right. So I popped over there, and now I'm waiting around. It's now almost 11 o'clock, and Stephan finally walks in.
Right.
And you're like, where have you been? Oh, I've been out driving around, and I got lost. Okay. And I didn't have a GPS, and I didn't have my phone. And I said, okay. And he crashed and went to bed. Now, I drove up there to be there in support, and the amount of time that I got there from 2 o'clock Wednesday morning, 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m., until 3:15 that afternoon, I had spent the equivalent of 30 minutes with him in increments.
Right.
Never a solid time together.
Right.
And so then I was downstairs and saw that the detectives had arrived, walked over and introduced myself to them and chatted with them a bit. And then Stephan came down, Jen came down, and they said, well, we're going to ask you to this news press. It's going to be an announcement of some sort. I said, oh, okay. And so the police and detective said, and we're going to escort Jen and Stephan. Okay. Oh, okay. Can I follow? Yeah, no problem. So I gave Stephan a spare phone. That's the last time I saw that phone.
Okay. That's where the phone came in. Okay.
So then just as they're arriving, I get a call from Stephan, and he says, detective wants you to turn left to go to the lobby, and we're going to go back this way. Well, I should have suspected something then, but I'm sitting out front waiting to get in to go to this news conference, and nothing. And finally, by the time I get in, and I'm texting people, calling people, I'm not getting anything. I get up there, and the whole thing is over. Oh shit! So now I go down. Now I go back downstairs, and I've got Sailor, the dog. That was my sister's dog that they brought back. That they were supposed to just put the dog in rescue, but they wanted to bring the dog back, so now they inherited the dog. So I'm babysitting Sailor, and I'm sitting out there for hours trying to find out what's going on. And this is when I start getting text messages from Jen.
Okay.
The infamous one. They found it said, get Stephan an attorney. Okay, and text back. Why? Well, they found explicit photos on his phone.
Oh no.
Okay, I go WTF. Okay.
Right.
And that was the extent of it. And then I'm trying to text her, find out when they're going to let her go where they can come out and talk to me. Now, keep in mind, I still think that Maddie's missing.
Right.
You know, that she didn't make it to school.
Yeah, it seems like
I'm not aware of anything else.
Yeah, they didn't
If
seem
you
to fill you in on much. They kept that same scripted story between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so then, you know, in the meantime, the police have got all this video of Stephan driving around town.
Yeah.
Got the video of him emptying the stuff out of the backpack, driving Maddie around all over the place. Went up to I drive up to the parking lot to move her from the front of the car to the trunk, or what have you.
Yes.
You know, they got his ass nailed. You know, I've always told him.
Yeah, definitely.
I said, if you do something wrong, always own up to it.
Right.
I said, it goes much better for you. But, you know, as usual, Stephan has to lie his way thinking through this, thinking he's the smartest guy in the room. And he's not.
No.
You're dealing with professionals.
Right.
They've already got the goods on you.
Yeah.
You know, if you think like a logical person and you realize that there's cameras all over the place, they're on doorbells, they're on street intersections, they're everywhere. You can't get from point A to point B without somebody seeing you.
Even dash cams. Even dash cams now. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to backtrack you.
Yeah.
So anyway, they finally they let Jen out to let her go get something to eat, and so we go up to a restaurant.
Right.
And get something to eat. Now, keep in mind, I'm still thinking that Maddie's missing and nothing mysterious or suspicious is going on, and there's no harm has been done.
Right.
And I'm just, you know, after I talked to the police, about 9 o'clock, and we finally leave the sheriff's station, Jen asked for me to take her home.
Okay.
Now, throughout dinner and throughout the ride home, Jen is sitting next to me. She's already now seen the images. She knows exactly what's happened with Maddie.
Okay.
And she's sitting there as calmly as you and I are talking.
Yes, it's so good to hear this from you. Okay. All right.
If I was the mother or the father, I'd be beating the crap out of somebody royally, and certainly not sitting in the same vehicle with the father,
telling them how to get out of it, right?
So, and the funny thing is that at dinner time, she slid her chair so close to me, put her hand on my arm, and leaned into me because she didn't want to hear any of the people sitting around the restaurant. She starts to tell me what the police had told her and what they have showed her.
Oh. So
now you know this woman, this mother knows. She described an image of Stephan's U-Haul.
Okay.
And Maddie's performing
oral
a sex act.
Right.
And she's telling me this just as matter-of-factly as she's giving me a recipe to make a cake.
How do you, I mean, what? What was your reaction?
I'm sitting here going, why isn't this woman scratching and yelling, screaming, ranting, raving, crying or something? But never demonstrated any emotions throughout the entire evening and I dropped her off. And matter of fact, before Stephan went down to the lobby, you know, he asked me to hold his pocket knife. I said, oh, okay. And meantime, I gave him this phone. I said, well, here, you know, take this phone so you can stay in touch and let me know what's going on. And so as we're pulling out of the parking lot, I realized I had this knife in my console, and I said, why did he give me this knife? So I picked up my phone, called the detective. I said, I'm coming back because I just realized that Stephan had given me this knife, and I've got it in my console, and I want to give it to you. I don't want it in my possession. I'm not sure what it could have been used for.
Right.
So I went back with her in the car and met the detective out front and I gave him a sworn affidavit and opened up a manila envelope, and I dropped the knife into it. And that was that. Gave it to him. That was it. In the meantime, the police, they showed up at our house they said, you know, during my interview, would you have any objection of police search your house? I said, no. I called Deb. I said, hey, Deb, they're going to come search the house. And she said, okay.
Right.
So, you know, which they did. And we all know about all that.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know, when I got home and found out Friday about this interview and I watched this interview, I said, you know, that's it. You know, They've got his phone. You can't deny that. You got the photos on there. You can't deny that. I don't know why he's thinking that just because that they may have obtained it illegally, that he's going to get off on the SA charges.
Yep.
But he's never going to win the court of justice or the public. The court of public opinion he'll be another OJ, he'll be another Casey Anthony. If he thinks he's going to get out of jail on that, he's crazy.
Right.
And then certainly later the first degree murder charges came across, and then his fate is sealed.
Right.
There's a great line in Forrest Gump: "Stupid is as stupid does," and so that's Stephan. He's Forrest Gump.
Right. I mean, this is exactly the way that it's a lot more. What you said is exactly what happened in front of everybody else. So they told you the exact same thing then as everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had always trained Stephan in sales that said, you need to rehearse the script and you need to do it out loud. You should role play with somebody if you really want to be good, because you've got to see people's reaction. You need to hear you saying this and expressing this and practice it, rehearse it. If you think about any actor who takes on a character, some of them go out and if they're playing a police officer or something, they go out and ride with police officers. They get the feel, they get the tone, they get the nuances of what it's like to be a police officer. Right. You maintain your demeanor. You're not some, wild ass cowboy out there freewheeling and shooting people left and right and shooting people in the back, halt or I'll shoot, type of stuff. You can't do that stuff, especially more today than way back when.
I was going to say back then you could, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's these actors rehearse their part.
Right.
And and even in sales, you rehearse your part. You want to say things in such a brief and concise way that you're conveying some information to help somebody make a very important decision.
Right.
And that's all you're trying to do. But it's got to be open ended. You've got to ask questions. They got to give you responses back, because they're going to help you tell them how to sell them. They're going to tell you what they're looking for, and if the product you have fits what they're looking for, then you want to key in on those items and tell them those things.
Right. Which he worked with you for a little bit, right? Or something in real estate. So is that why you told him that?
Well, yeah. Look, a widget is a widget. Doesn't matter what you sell.
Right. Exactly.
And I've always written the scripts down, and where I've written them down repetitively, so they become imprinted in my mind. And then I'll go out and practice a piece at a time to see what kind of response I get back from the customer. And I go, okay, I didn't think about that. All right, I'm going to rephrase this and say it differently.
Right.
And that's how you go about practicing it. So my thinking is that Stephan called me first because I was going to start picking apart whatever he had to say, and which I did.
Right.
I was questioning him about, especially the next day when I said, the police are going to consider you to be a person of interest. Duh. You're the last person to see her.
Right.
And so I said, he tells me, well, Maddie didn't have her phone. And right away I go, okay, let me see. A teenager her age, not without her phone. Why not just slit your wrist and just leave your blood at home and go to school?
Right. Right.
You're taking your lifeline. You're leaving it behind. I don't think so. And then I said, well, okay. So now you got to come up with some evidence of where you were.
Right.
What about your phone? They should be pinging it off the tower. Well, I left mine home too. And I was sitting there going, oh yeah, okay.
Oh no.
Then he tries to tell me this bullshit about his phone resetting. I said, oh, really? Yeah, I was doing an update and reset. I'm a tech guy.
Right.
And I'm sitting here going, bullshit to that. There's no effing way that happened.
Right.
But, oh, no, it happened. Okay. So now you don't have your phone, and Maddie doesn't have her phone.
Right.
All this is so very convenient. And then I'm watching your podcast tonight and listening to the timeline in these 10-minute conversation, called me back 10 minutes later. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I just got home and I left my phone at home. Well, yeah, he left it home because he had to, because he's driving around like he's driving Miss Daisy.
Right.
And
yeah.
He's all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not sure what he's going to do.
I mean, do you think that they did this script? Were they so close with what they were telling you? You think Jen scripted this with Stefan? I mean, that's what I want to know.
I'm going to have some opportunity to talk to Stefan to see if he will give me the truth as to what happened.
Okay.
I mean, when he made the comment when we were first able to speak with him, he said, "Well, I didn't start it," and I shot back, "Well, you participated."
Yes.
I mean, who cares who started it? If you had a choice at that time to do something or not do it, and like, what did you not start?
Right. Right.
There's that begged the question that you knew wasn't going to get an answer, but still participated in it. But I want to get to the truth. So, do I think that Jen's involved? Yeah, I just don't know what to extent.
Right.
I think for whatever reason, we've kind of theorized that Stefan's falling on the sword for whatever reason.
Right.
But do I think he was the lone perpetrator in this? I think maybe he might have accidentally harmed her in such a way that she died, and then he described to us that he was up and down most of that evening, going up and down the stairs a few times. I can't believe that if there was some altercation or something, the roommates didn't report anything, because it sounded like it was very quiet.
Right.
But I tell you what, that Saturday night before he left town,
right.
Jay, if you saw the expression on his face, you would see such a look of panic and terror in his face. I've never seen anything like this.
Really?
He came out of his bedroom. I was in the kitchen, heading back towards the bedroom, walking through the great room, and he's coming out. He's got this look on his face, and he said, "Do you have any anxiety meds?" Sorry, I don't have that kind of issue. So no, I don't. You think Mom does? I said, I don't think she has any either, but you can ask her. And he was looking for something to calm his nerves. And then the next time I saw him was early Sunday morning. He was up. He was at the computer, and I was heading out the door. And then I thought he was leaving earlier in the afternoon, but I see that he didn't enter the Kissimmee area until 8:25 that Sunday evening.
Well, at least the times match up. Yeah, that's what they said. He got there like right after the party or right before Maddie got there. So, okay, that was good. So I wonder what that panic was. I think that's why people keep saying Maddie was pregnant, because that comment of him having some weird panic on Saturday and being super panicked. I mean, we can all just speculate, except for pregnancy, because we know that now, right?
Yeah.
But
there was something disturbing. Something happened. Some event. Something was said.
Right.
And I don't know what happened.
Right.
The interesting thing is that after the police had arrested him, and then they'd been to our house, we cleaned out his room, cleaned it out entirely.
Right.
And then that's when I came across a couple of thumb drives. I throw them in the computer, hover my mouse over one of them. Nothing there, is empty. Put the other one in, hover my mouse over the files, and I could see the names of the files. I never saw any images because I didn't want to see any, because you can't unsee what you see.
Right. No.
And I go, oh my God. So I had already volunteered the desktop computer to the police. They said, come by and pick it up. And I took it out of the room, put it in the garage, and kept it there for safekeeping. And then we discovered this thumb drive a few days later as we're cleaning out his room. And then I come to find out later there was no hard drive in the desktop. And I said, that's interesting. So now I'm sitting there thinking, Saturday evening, something was said. He takes his hard drive with him, almost like, I'm thinking, is he leaving and not coming back?
Right. Well, kind of.
What, is he, maybe there's some premeditated thoughts going through his mind as to how to resolve whatever this issue was Saturday evening. I have no idea.
Right.
But I'd like to get to the bottom of it, and because I'm going to ask those questions, and now that he's already pled to it, and he's in prison, there shouldn't be any reason for him not to disclose what happened. But I have to wade through the BS that I'll be told and sort out truth from lies.
Yeah.
But that's his MO.
Well,
you know, and I want to make one thing perfectly clear about our participation with Maddie and Jen and Stephan. If you were to add up the amount of years and days and minutes that time span involves, and the amount of time that we spent with them, it would be 0.000000 something.
Right.
Because we only saw them a few times. We would see them for a holiday. They would come down. They would go off into Stephan's room. We would get together for a meal. Then they would go off to Stephan's room. Debbie spent a lot of time with Maddie doing crafts and stuff and watching movies, and she loved playing with the dogs. But she would just be bopping in and out of the room where Jen and Stephan were. But the amount of time that we were around her, she seemed perfectly normal. She was laughing, giddy, you know, spontaneous, and, you know, a typical kid, you know.
Right.
Wanted to play with the dogs and throw the ball. I said, no, you can't do that with these dogs. You'll get them all stirred up.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, according to you, and I know that relationship well. When parents live 2 hours away, you only see them maybe 3, 4, 5 times a year at the most. And they don't know what you're doing. My mom doesn't know what I'm doing. I only visit her a couple of times. She has no idea what my personal life is, you know?
Yeah.
Why would
you don't have GoPros on your kids?
No. And we don't want to, right, Chris? We don't want to. We don't want to see that.
Well, I mean, if you think about the stuff that you got away with growing up and I got away with growing up, I said, you know, how am I supposed to monitor a guy that's, you know, 20 years, you know, he's like almost 40 years old or 30 years old. You're not supposed to be doing that.
No.
You should know your kid well enough. You know what I cared about? Is he doing drugs?
Right.
Is there drugs in the house or is there booze?
Right.
As long as I don't see that, I'm happy. I never thought about any of this.
Right.
Not in my wildest dreams. I said, well, gee, you know, if I were to do it over, I guess I would add that to my watch out for this. Or definitely put a GoPro on them. But, you know, you give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Of course. You would never think that of your child anyway. Like, I know I wouldn't. I never think of that worst thing.
Yeah.
So I hear that. There's nothing, in my opinion, you guys did a lot more than some parents would do. They had to smash the hard drive and not said anything or never even turned it in. So,
well, here's the problem with that. Okay. I mean, I could, you know, what really annoyed me is I told the detective, I think Mark Davis is his name. I said, hey, I've got this evidence here. I think you guys should come get it. Okay, we'll get it. You know, I had to remind him 3 weeks later that I was still sitting on this. Where are you going to come and get it?
Well, I'm glad to hear that because that's what I was telling people earlier. They got lazy with things. Oh.
Yeah. But they, you know, so like I said, we cleaned out his room. We restored it to what the way a room should be lived in and what have you. And we got rid of everything.
Right.
And again, it would be very easy for me to have taken that thumb drive and just destroyed it. But you know what? I knew about it. Right. And I couldn't live with myself knowing about it. I don't care if it was damaging or not.
Right.
Maybe it was evidence that could help him. But I didn't really think that. But at the same time, I was not going to be complicit in a cover up for something bad he did. It just isn't in my moral character to do that. I can't do that. So could live with myself. I'd think about it every day. And suppose somebody found out differently. Now I'm really caught. Now I would have to fess up to it.
Right. And then you'd be behind bars and Jen would be out. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
I appreciate.
But I was extremely cooperative with the police, and just at every turn, you know, try to find answers to some questions that lingered out there. And that's why I had that conversation with him in July. I said, you know, maybe Jen had described to me one sect act, and somehow I had formulated in my mind that I saw an image of it. And of course, you know, I had this conversation with the detectives, not realizing they were recording me. And you know, that played out well on the podcast because I think I was castigated about that. And I said, hey, I'm just having a innocent conversation with these guys, asking the questions, trying to get answers to questions, and all of a sudden it turned on me. But you know, I was honest about it.
Right. Imagine had you not been. Whoa.
Well, again, I had nothing to hide. You know, I'd be the first person. You know, call him a DF.
Right.
You know, Forrest Gump.
Right. Well,
I
I
just
mean,
don't understand the whole motive behind it. That's the frustrating
and
thing.
that's what bothers a lot of us, I think. I think that's
Yeah.
why we talk about it, and we just don't feel like we got anything final. But I mean, I appreciate you. I mean, everything you said is exactly the same as has been documented, you know?
Yep.
So I
Yep.
appreciate you for that.
It's hard enough remembering the truth, so trying to keep up with the lie is even worse. So it's just
I
better
know.
to speak the truth.
Exactly.
You know,
Well,
when you get to our age, Jay, your age, our age,
Yeah.
you know, you wise up. You know, you get all this maturity and experience, and you realize that, you know, it's best to just be forthright and honest and upfront. You know, hey, I screwed up. If I screwed up, I go into my boss and say, "Oh boy, I screwed up in this way." Oh, okay, no problem.
right.
You know,
And then there's things you can't. You could screw up, and then now he's done, right? He's done. But
yeah.
yeah, I
And,
mean, I
and look, I
appreciate
think you
that.
put on a great. I think you put on a great show. We enjoy watching you and listening to your audience, and listen to the specialists, the experts that you have on. So there's always something always appealing and intriguing about the information they convey. But the bottom line is that I'm pretty sure that Stephan and Jen had scripted this out, and that Stephan rehearsed it on me first before he did anything else. And then they tried to play out that act Monday evening and again with the television interview. So
that's your theory then. Someone asked what's the theory. Dad was saying you had a theory. Is that, because that sounds real plausible. They
Yeah.
tried it on you first, including him and Jen. And okay, that is it, guys. That's the theory that he has. They called Chris first. Go ahead.
But you know, when I was there, Stephan had an opportunity to come to me and share with me. Now, imagine that he comes to me and he tells me what really happened. What are my choices then? Stephan, I'm going to call the police. You're going to sit here. We're going to call the police, and you're going to cooperate with the police and tell them what happened and get this out in front. You know what he lost? He lost the opportunity to control the narrative by him playing this game with the police.
Yep.
He ended up where he is. He may have been able to come up with something much lesser if he had been honest and open with the police. But he lost the ability to control the narrative. He sat there for 18 months and finally ended up with a plea deal. And this comment in court blew me away.
I know.
What the F is that?
I know. Oh, man.
He should have just said, "I'm sorry for causing all this pain and be done with it." But no, we had to hear this tribble.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I agree with that too. I agree. I wish he wouldn't have said that, but I think he's really sticking to he loved Maddie and Maddie loved him. And I think at some point he's going to tell you a bit more. I do.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to find out if I ever have the opportunity to speak with him, because I want the truth. And he's going to be in a location. Look, you know, where we lived and where he was living, we saw very little of him. But the interesting thing is that they lived in the town next to us, down next to Northport, for maybe 8 months. You know how much we saw of him then?
How much?
0.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never saw them. Maybe they would come over once, maybe twice. But again, it was no different if they were 3 hours away or if they were 20 minutes away.
Right. I mean, it makes sense, though. You guys, they take a lot of pills, right? Jen seems to take a lot of pills and be high a lot. So maybe they didn't want to be high and doing their stuff. I don't know. You know?
Oh, well, she was always on high. I never tried. You know, you always had it. It said, "You're not going to vape in the house. Go outside. You're not vaping in the house. Don't want that crap in the house." And so they were the only time they come out of the bedroom was when they made their trips to go vape.
Right. And then Maddie, was she in the room with them a lot too, or did she out there playing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She was either in their room together, all three of them, or she was spending time with Deb or me or at dinner.
Right. Right. Well, that makes sense. I mean, everything is exactly, and I hope that at some point you do get a little bit more closure, you know?
Well, when I do, I'll share it with you, because we like you and respect you, and so we just hope this stays with you, and that we're not going to talk to anybody else.
No.
And so it's a Jay, Debbie, and Chris thing.
Well, thank you. Next time you have to tell, or you can tell me a dad joke right now if you want. You want to break the mood a little. you got any dad jokes? You pull them off pretty nice. I'm not good with jokes like that.
I'm not prepared for a dad joke right now,
Okay.
but
Okay.
and I'm not going to play the one I played for you at Easter time because that's an Easter thing. By the way, we almost share the same birthday, so happy belated birthday.
Well, happy belated birthday. But you're a Cancer, right?
No, I'm a Leo. I'm all right. I'm right on the cusp.
You're a Leo too. Oh yes, July 25th. Are you the 25th too, or the 24th?
No, I'm the 23rd. So I'm right on the cusp.
Oh yes. Okay. Leos. That's it, folks. Leos. That's it. Well, thank you.
Leos
Happy belated
roar.
birthday. They do. I could see why Deb has to be so tough now because she's got a Leo.
Well, she's a bull.
Oh,
so you got a bull and a lion living together.
That's true. Very true. Well, I do appreciate you. I don't want to take too much of your time. It was a surprise call, and I appreciate it so much, Chris and Deb. Thank you.
Well, thank you. All right. Have a great evening.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was awesome. Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Deb. That was a real surprise that they called in. And like I said, I was telling you guys before, I've talked to Chris and Deb, and it's always when they're ready to talk or what they want to say. I didn't really talk much. There's a couple things I asked, but I just wanted him to be able to get out what he wanted. I'll definitely timestamp this when the video processes. We're at 2 hours. Does anybody, should we even do call in? Should we do a call in? Does anybody have anything they want to say? Let me see. I have it on Do Not Disturb. Oh, is somebody already calling in? Oh, hold on. What's this? Okay. Wow, that was a real surprise. Definitely appreciate you, Deb. No, I did not see Chief Rocca. I don't know if anyone still wants to call in. I see a lot of things going on behind chat. I appreciate you, Nicole. I really wanted to make sure he got to say what he wanted to say. And there's a couple things I wanted to ask, but we got a real good. All right, you want to call in, Mr. Chief? Why don't we get this started by you calling in, and then again, this is going to be some call-in therapy, and then we're going to move on next week until we hear more, right? No call-in. Mr. Chris was awesome, and we are doing a giveaway. But I do feel like if somebody wants to call in and talk, we can do a call in, and then we can wrap it up with the giveaway. So if you want to call in, Chief, or anybody, I think a lot of people are just like trying to realize what just happened. No, if no one wants to call in, I'm good. I'm just gonna do giveaways then. I mean, that was really great. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate you. Call. Let's see.
Call from
Chief Rocca.
All right, we got Chief on the phone. All right, we'll see what Chief's got for us. What you got, Chief? Thank you, Deb.
Hey, girlfriends.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right, what you got?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that question to Chris if it could be passed along.
Which one?
If they're still here. My question was the couple times that Stephan did visit when he lives so close, was his agenda for stopping and visiting for money or some other agenda?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'm sure Deb could answer that. If I don't know if Jen actually got money from them. I think it was Stephan, and they were paying the rent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When Stephan would visit home, was that the agenda, borrowing money, or some other agenda, or
right? I
mean, just visit his parents.
He actually didn't even say that. He said they lived by each other for 8 months, and he saw them 0. So I'm thinking that the reason the in-betweens that he did need money was because of he wasn't able to sell the CSAM anymore, or even, the commissary. Right. I think they were doing okay, except for the parent. I think Deb and Chris were paying for that room until Stephan could get a full-time job. But I mean, I don't know if I'm still in chat, but I mean, I'll use my educated guess on that one. I don't think that they were getting money from him at that time. I didn't hear anything about that so far. So I'm going to say probably only on the downtimes. I do think Jen and Stephan were making money from Maddie, though. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
speculate. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just wanted to do a call in to like kind of compartmentalize everything that we heard and say, okay, double back around. Did I actually hear that? And did it match? I think it did. I think it matched perfectly, right, with what happened. That's why.
There's arrests for these crimes every damn day in all 50 states and throughout the world, for that matter.
Right.
It's only a matter of time that they get to the bottom of this whole trafficking thing, whether it be our country that's causing it,
agreed,
or another country.
Hold on. Can I grab one more call real quick? Go ahead, finish your thought, and then I'll take another call. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, man. And I think it's only a matter of time too before it comes out, before Stephan talks to his parents about it. Really,
Yeah,
I really
but
do.
I'm talking about in general the whole trafficking thing.
Oh man, that's
to the bottom of it.
That's a whole. I don't know, man. We're gonna have to talk about that later because that's a whole big picture, and especially in Florida.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a whole other. I don't know about that. I think they've just got the tip of the iceberg on that. And no,
you hear about it in Arizona, Texas.
Oh, everywhere, man. San Diego area by Tijuana, by Mexico. So I mean, that's a whole. Now, Deb did answer. She said no, just to visit for a meal or companionship.
Are you around? Are you in San Diego?
No, I'm in California, but I'm in Northern California. I'm in San Jose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My parents met in San Diego when my dad was in the Navy.
Yeah. Now that's one of my favorite places in Cali, but no. But yeah, trafficking is gonna be it's a huge.
I would have been a Chargers fan and went to Balboa.
So for what?
I would have been a Chargers fan and grew up in Balboa.
Right. Oh, I know that. I know that area. I grew up down south, but yeah, the Navy's in San Diego, right? Okay, so Deb said close to zero, not zero, but close to zero. They saw him, and no, they weren't asking for money. But I mean, I'm sure that they were making money off of this child. And we don't know about the toxicology. I wonder if they did see that. And if Deb wants to answer that, she can. You guys, I think we're gonna do giveaways now, though. I think we're talked out. Lady Virginia said break time. I think 2 hours is it, but we will be doing more call-ins, Chief. And I'll always let you know when we do, so that we can get your take on it. I just love having conversations, intelligent conversations.
Oh yeah.
So I definitely appreciate you.
And I'm rerouting my whole channel. I got my new this is what I'm going to be working on.
Okay.
We're going to be busting cyberbullying within the true crime.
Oh, I love you. You're speaking my language, and I'd love to help you. We should talk behind the scenes on this, man. Really.
Absolutely.
Really.
And everybody that's modded in my thing or sub to my channel.
Right.
If they see it, hear it, they have to PB3 it.
Well, let's talk. I don't even have your channel. If you can email me after, or come in chat and drop your link in chat so I can post it. But I really do want to talk to you about that. And I'd love to silently help you, but not in public, not, you know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes.
Right.
So let's talk about that behind the scenes. That's really a passion of mine, what you're talking about. So, but I don't want to talk in front of everyone. We never let people know our game plan. We work silently. We move silently, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Big hug to you. We all love you. I'm gonna do a giveaway now. So do drop your link in chat and then email me, please.
Okay, yeah.
All right, my man. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right, I think that we did good on the call-in, guys. I think people are still trying to process what's happening in here. Yeah, Jay made me want to start a true crime channel. You too? Yes, guys. And you guys are still here. So you guys do this. Hit the like button, share this with your community and your friends, okay? I will I'm going to timestamp this as soon as it's done. Deb, you're thank you so much for being you, Deb. Deb, you know how we roll. And Chris, thank you, Chris. How we roll. Now we know we're the Leos. We're the mighty Leos. And then we got the bull. I'm going to give away some Arrest Jen Soto stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think that really gave us some stuff to think about. I love you too. All right, get those memberships, guys, because we're about to give stuff away. I'm going to drop the number out. I'm done with that tonight. And I still got a cold. I've been fighting all damn week long. Yeah, I need to rest. Em, I'm so glad you're here. Carrie, I hope you stayed around. Thomas, if you're not here, I hope you rewatch. Thomas Karras was his name. That is my hero. He's going to be my guilty of crime hero forever and 2 days. Thomas Karras, shout out to you. Thomas is the one that made sure that the police went back to where Stephan had a flat tire and ultimately found Maddie's body. Now, we also want to make sure that we understand here on this channel that Chris and Deb Stearns are nothing like the Laundries or like Aiden Fucci's mom or any of those people. They did not try to cover up the crimes. And as a matter of fact, Chris, I love that he told us about Stephan trying out his scripted story. Stephan and Jen trying out their scripted story on him. And he didn't buy that shit, not for a minute. Their story was BS. All right. So, man, you guys, I love you. Let's give some stuff away. All right. And I'm not going to stop doing shows. As long as we're helping people, we're not going to stop doing shows. All right. Babette says I have to silently help you by phone due to hacking. Sorry, sweetie. I'll call soon. No problem, you guys. I love you guys so much. You guys are why we're here, is because you help support the channel. So by doing that, do me a favor, hit the like button. We're going to give some stuff away and then we're going to roll out. All right. So let me drop this, or let me add this real quick. Take a look. We're going to be giving, so we gave one of these away on, was it yesterday? We gave one away. Are we guilty of crime? I'm not guilty of crime. Are you guilty of crime? All right. I believe angels exist, and so do I. If you believe in God and the spirit of good things and angels, then you gotta believe in the good stuff, right? You believe in the bad, you gotta believe in the good, whatever that is for you. Okay, so we're gonna be giving away a Sleep Like Jen Soto little bag. You can put your pills in, some little pill containers, Took My Meds, Arrest Jen Soto, the potato, keychain, etc. But before we do that, I wanted to show you guys real quick what I want to offer you with this. If you win, I want to make sure you guys check out our merch store on Guilty of Crime and highlight this. Chief Rocka, especially you. We've got this mug that says no trolls, F the trolls, troll spray, guilty of crime. All right. And it doesn't have to be this. We have a lot of other merch at the store. If you guys want to get yourself a tumbler or anything else, while we're giving away the package, we'll give you free shipping on whatever you want. And we'll throw in the Jen Soto, Arrest Jen Soto stuff. All right. So I just wanted you guys to know Tiff works so hard at the merch store, and it'd be awesome for you guys to be part of the crime crew and get yourself some merch while you're at it. All right. Emily, thank you for being a member for 7 months. I love you guys. Carolina, member for 7 months. All right. Sherry says package will get you sent an important email. We'll give you my sent. Okay. All right, Sherry, message me. All right, we're gonna give away. If you can't, we're all good. You're all good, Mary. You guys don't have to tell me if you are. And I love you too, Melissa. I never want you to feel like you can't hang out with Guilty of Crime because you can't get a membership or because you can't buy stuff, because that's not what we're about. We're here for justice. We're here to highlight these people that need it. We're here for the victims families, to get some kind of semblance of justice or closure. That's what we're here for. All right. Now we will, if you want to pay for the UK shipping, but the UK shipping is real expensive. So if you want to pay for a giveaway, we give it to you. Yeah. Jen Soto sleep stuff is funny. All right, that's why we're giving that stuff away. Yeah, we have sippy cups, we have troll spray, we have blankets, we have all kinds of stuff. If you can, definitely get one. Like I said, Tiff works hard. In the meantime, we're giving this away right now. And then I'm going to go hang out with the fam and try to get over this damn cold with all the feral children on week 1. All right? The only feral children that are the only one that's not a feral child is my daughter, baby Guilty. All right? Thank you, Patricia, for being a member for 4 months. I appreciate all of your guys' support and the love. And thank you guys for being respectful in chat, because I was getting ready to let the Leo loose and just get the trolls out. But you guys did really well. Thank you. All right, we're giving some stuff away now. All right. Tiff, like I said, works really hard on the merch. She said the giveaway will include a glass cup. And if I know Tiff, she has a really good sense of humor. You can see it right there. All right. So Teresa says Jay has the best merch. We really do. And it's not even, it's my merch, but Tiff does the merch. I'm constantly wearing a Guilty of Crime hat, a Guilty of Crime shirt. Baby Guilty is always rocking Guilty of Crime stuff. All of her friends have older brothers and sisters and parents, and they all watch Guilty of Crime. I shit you not. So thank you, Baby Guilty, for repping my channel. Baby Guilty reps my channel, and all the people at her school are always like, Jay, what's up? They're follower. They watch my channel. It's awesome. Awesome. Gotta love Baby Guilty. Clar, I love you, my friend. Member for 12 months. For 1 year, you've been bending my ear and bending your heart, because you also love the Scots. I know you love the guilty Scots. All right. All right, let's give some stuff away. We're going to give away a glass cup along with some Sleep Like Jen Soto stuff, all right? All right, let's do it right now, okay? Let's go. Let me put this up. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. It gives you an extra chance to win, and you got to be a Crime Crew member, all right? And then we out. You guys can go eat dinner or do whatever the heck you want to. Drum roll, please. All right, let's get this down. Stop that screen. And let me put this up. All right, here we go. Jen Soto's ugly, ugly face is up there. In my opinion, Jen Soto has an ugly face. All right, that's just me. Just me. And Allie, I just found you. Well, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It looks like you're a Crime Crew member, so you can win too. M Friday, baby. You know how we do. All right. Load comments. Countdown. Drum roll. And go. All right, guys. Let's hope that we get the first winner the first time around. 2, 1, and 0. Coco Cutie. Is Coco Cutie here? Is Coco Cutie a Crime Crew member? And are you in the U.S.? All right. Coco Cutie. Where's Coco Cutie? All right. I'm going to just wait a second. I'm going to take a drink. Oh, Coco Cutie. Okay, so Coco Cutie is not a Crime Crew member, guys. Coco Cutie's here, but she doesn't have a membership. So you can email Synth, and maybe Synth will send you one of the snail mails. I'm sorry, we got to do it again. You guys got to be a member. That we can't support the channel off of love, guys. We love you, but I can't pay my bills with love. If I could, I would never work. All right, we're gonna do this again. If I could live off love, I'd be home all day filming. All right, but unfortunately, it doesn't do the trick for me. And they turn my stuff off if I don't pay my bills, my friends. So we're going to do it again. Love you, Coco Cutie, but we got to do it one more time. If you can email Synth, I'm sure she'll hook you up. All right? Right? Same. If we can live off love, we would. Melissa is a new member. All right, we got Julie DJ. And I don't know. I don't see the little membership, but I don't know if you're here. My Bluebird wants to be a member. If you guys can drop a link. All right. Coco Cutie, you can email synth.cerber@gmail.com and she'll send you something really cool anyway. right? I'm Julie DJ. Where are you? Love you, Sadie's mama. All right. I don't know where Julie DJ is, but does anybody know? And thank you so much, One Love Revolutionary. Regardless of anyone's opinion, it's all love here. This was somewhat closure, definitely acknowledgement of no accountability. Thank you for saying that. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Oh, no. Okay, so Julie DJ, you can also email synth.server@gmail.com and she'll send you something to the UK. All right, so we're going to go one more time, guys. Drum roll, please. All right, one more time. You know, I don't have patience, but I do when it comes to you guys. I got something on my arm that I tattooed my arm that says patience so I could learn patience, but it didn't work. All right. Congratulations anyway. We're still going to email synth.server@gmail.com and she'll send you something cool. Oh my goodness. Teresa is my girl. Do you have a membership? I hope you do, because Teresa, you're one of my favorite people. And I think you're in Florida. All right. So where is Teresa? I don't know if she's a Crime Crew member, but I do know that Teresa and I talk often, and I believe she's the one in Florida. So is she a Crime Crew member? Good to see you, Indy. I'm glad you're still here. Yes, she is. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Teresa is a member, and she is one of my favorite people. So hook her up. Please, Tiff. guiltyofcrime.merch@gmail.com. It's not that one. It's Teresa Letcher. She's a Crime Crew member. guiltyofcrime.merch@gmail.com. Congratulations. We finally got a winner. And that, you're going to win that. And you're going to get a glass, either a tumbler or a mug or something cool to tie it in. Go ahead and email guiltyofcrime.merch@gmail.com. And yeah, congratulations, my friend. Much love. Yeah, she's green. She's in the US. I think she's in Florida. I'm pretty sure it's the right one. All right. I love you guys. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. I feel like I won a prize by getting to hear Chris's story today. That's the first time I've heard it out loud like that, following that time frame, the script, and it was so good to hear that they probably did try out the script on Chris, and it didn't work. It didn't work on Chris, and it didn't work on law enforcement. Now let's go over and hashtag arrest Jen Soto. All right, you guys, I love you. Go ahead and hit that like button and then share with your friends and your community. On that note, I'm out. Love you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you on Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Deb, much love. Go take care of those poodles before they do that, before they eat you alive. And that's what I'm going to go do. Love you guys. Have a good one. Peace out, guys.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?